Good morning, everyone. Welcome. My name is Menachem Creditor. It's my honor to serve as scholar in residence and rabbi for UJA Federation of New York. We bring you Torah and music, blessing, and community every weekday. We've been doing so since March 18th, 2020. Today it is Monday, June 16th, 2025. That is 5 years and a bunch of months since we started coming together to learn Torah, to say good morning to each other, to say hi, to face the world as it is and to lift it up just a little bit. Tracy, it's good to see you. Karen and Susie, Tara, Boker Tov. It's good to see all of you. I hope that you and yours are safe and well. We are living in intense times, as we have for these last, long time. Shush, it's good to see you. Amy, good to see you too. Jerry and Debbie. Lisa, Ashley, good morning. Linda, Boker Tov, you are home from the first time where you met Fabrice in person. What a gift to know that this community brought us together in the real world too. Barry, welcome. Michelle and Jennifer, good to see you. Let's see who else is here. Arlene, David, Deborah, and Amy. Chana, good morning. Chana, you're in Herzliya. We are with you. We are with you. Carl and Joyce, good morning. Sharon and Sue. Sue, nice to see you here. What a gift. Lydia and Ashley, Deborah and Rosa, Chana, sending love all over the place. To those of us in Utah, those of us in Herzliya, those in New York, Penny, thanks for reminding us it is broadcast 1324. Lisa, sending you love. Corinne, hope you're well. Natalia, good morning. Natalie, Boker Tov. Yes, Deborah, you say that you're worried about family and friends in Israel. Me too. Me too. Cecile and Janice, Diane and Siona. A few more hellos. We're going to get started with a bracha. Judy, it's good to see you. Carol and Ron, good morning. Jack, good to see you. Okay, almost the bottom. Stan, my friend, happy late Father's Day to you. Adele and Linda, Barbara and Richard, good morning. All right. I'm not sure about you, but these last 4 days have not been days of breathing. So let's take an intentional breath before we sing a blessing. Good morning, everyone. It's good to see you. Let's make it a point to do what Carl is saying. Everyone could use a smile today, including you. So let's take a second and actually practice that for a moment. There's actually research that says that when we intentionally smile, not only do we create a contagious response often from the people who might see us smile, who might suddenly smile themselves without quite knowing why, but also we release endorphins into our body. And what an important thing it is, friends, for us to give ourselves the gift of a little bit more of that serotonin, a little bit more of that joy, a little bit of a boost to our souls. To say the obvious, These are hard times. Rosa said it very powerfully and simply, grueling days. And so, what I'd like to do, friends, is take a second with each of us and just wish you inner peace, a little bit of a sense of safety, reassurance, communal strength, learning Torah, and as I'm seeing some of us write, you can post emojis of smiles if you'd like. That might even generate the kind of response that we're talking about. So take a second. Give yourself the gift of knowing that you're breathing. And of course, that comes with immense responsibilities. But you're breathing, isn't that amazing? We wake up each morning and we say Modeh or Moda Ani, which tells us that we are part of a world that is more and more awake and alert. We are able to face it. That's not a given. And so let's make sure that we dedicate all of our heart energy to those who are in Israel in harm's way. Take a breath. Give yourself the gift of that recognition. The last 4 days have seen us trembling. My sister and her family in Tel Aviv, countless beloved friends all over Israel, have spent vast amounts of time in the shelters and the ma'amads of their homes. And when they don't have Wi-Fi and are unable to let us know how they are, it is grueling. It is also the case, friends, that what is often the experience of uncertainty for those in the shelters is also very real and very, very serious destruction that has been happening in civilian populations in Israel over the last 4 days. Iran has sent hundreds of ballistic missiles, but were it not for Israel's actions, they could have sent, God forbid, nuclear bombs. And so, whereas we cannot change any of our priorities when it comes to fighting for the release of the hostages, it is also important for us to know that this front is an existential fight on behalf of our people, Am Yisrael, because Iran's rulers have vowed to erase millions of us from our homeland and have been on the verge of nuclear breakthroughs, the capacity to send nuclear warheads. This preemptive strike by Israel does a number of things. Most of all, it gives us the sense that this existential threat can be countered. Yossi Klein Halevi, my beloved teacher, said a few months ago on a broadcast that he did with Rabbi Daniel Hartman from the Hartman Institute, that what Israel needed to do, what we need to do post-October 7th, is regain our deterrent capacity. That protects us more than the weapons, because weapons are a finite resource, but the deterrent capacity that we can fight back is both an existential and physical need that the state of Israel has, but also an absolute need that Jews have in the world. The whole point of the state of Israel, even though, friends, even though this is so hard, it is so hard. We know that the state of Israel was founded to be a safe place for the Jewish world. Is it the only place where Jews should be safe? No. Jews should be safe everywhere we are. But the state of Israel was meant to be a safe haven. As Herzl said, and I'm paraphrasing really indelicately, he said, the world has a problem. This is when he founded political Zionism. The world has a problem. The Jews. The Jews have a problem. The world. He said, we can solve that problem. Just give us a place and we'll take care of the rest. That was the language that I'm really not doing kindness to his writing in articulating. And so any threat to the possibility of a safe haven for the Jews is a threat to Jews all around the world. And of course, it's not only the Jews, because a nuclear Iran would be a threat to everyone everywhere. And so what we need to do, friends, right now, on behalf of our beloveds who are not sleeping for 4 days, carrying their babies, trying to help those who have mobility issues make it to safe havens, to safe basement shelters, their ma'amads. And that's really it. That's really it. They need safety. And part of what we have done is demonstrate to the world that we can fight back. That is a Jewish reality that began with political Zionism, that we needed to be able to fight back. We needed to be able to defend ourselves because, as we've seen time and time again in history, if we do not, we cannot rely on someone else's goodwill for our safety. That is a historical truth, a hard lesson that we've continued to learn. Now, all of this is political commentary. All of this is so hard and heavy. If we don't acknowledge this, if we don't stand within it, we do ourselves no favor. And so what I want to make sure we do, friends, is we extend our prayers for the safety of Am Yisrael, for the safety of everyone in the world, and yes, for peace. So, let's make sure that the learning we're about to do from this week's Parsha is intentionally dedicated to all those in harm's way. May Medinat Yisrael be safe. May Am Yisrael be safe. May the world be safe. May the people of Iran be led by an authority that sees their humanity and the humanity of others as worthy of protection. I am going to pivot not so neatly to the Parsha, but I want to wish us strength. I want to wish us strength. I want to wish us strength. In Parshat Shlach, which, wow, is it the Parsha to be reading right now? Moshe sends spies to scout out the land of Israel. What is it like? Who lives there? What kind of an army do we need to protect ourselves and to claim our home? In the biblical context, it is different than our own. But the questions asked are the same ones you would ask any scout. Tell me about their fortresses. Tell us about the agriculture. Tell us about the people. And this is what the spies come back saying. It's a very famous section of the text. It's in Bamidbar, the book of Numbers, chapter 13. Vaisaprulo. And this is what they told to Moshe in front of everyone. Yes. Banu el haaretz asher shlachtanu. We went to the place that you sent us. V'gam zavat chalav udvashi. V'zeh pirya. It does flow with milk and honey, and this is its fruit. It's the famous image of them carrying a huge bunch of grapes, an eshkol. And then they use one word, friends. This is the word we're going to talk about. Ephes. Ephes ki az ha'am hayoshev ba'aretz. But the people who are there are very powerful. The cities are fortified and very large. V'gam yilidei ha'anak ra'inu sham. We saw the anakim there, the giants there. Amalek dwells in the Negev. Hittites and Jebusites and Amorites inhabit the hill country, and the Canaanim, the Canaanites, dwell by the sea and along the Jordan. And Kalev ben Yefuneh. There are 12 spies. Kalev and Joshua are always counted as the ones who give us hope. So let's listen to what he says. Vayahas Kalev et ha'am el Moshe. Caleb hushed the people. He helped them calm down and said, Alo na'aleh v'yarashnu ota ki yachol nuchala. We should go. Let's go up. We ascend. We rise. And we will inherit this land. Ki yachol nuchala. You know the translation of that, friends? Because we shall overcome. We can. And the language there is so important. Yes, it was the animating language for the American civil rights movement in the 60s, and since we shall overcome, becoming the unofficial anthem of the African American community, the Black Liberation Movement of the 60s and since. how important it is, friends, for us to know that what Kalev and Yehoshua do, the two spies that encourage the people, they don't dispute the facts. It's scary out there. It can be very scary. Joshua does not say, Kalev does not say, there aren't giants there and there aren't fortresses. No, he says, in the face of the giants that are there, in the face of the fortresses, Alon na'aleh, we shall overcome. Yachol nuchala, we can do it. It takes an absolute conviction, faith, and yes, strategy, and yes, force, to make that statement true and fulfilled. But the opposite is scare tactics. And I don't judge the 10 spies that were scared for their fear. Of course. Of course. Fear can also be a really important tool when we channel it and we use it to build the strength that we need to face the moment. Because the other ones say no. We can't. Lo nuchal la'alot el ha'am. We can't do it. They say later that we saw ourselves as grasshoppers in their eyes, meaning we felt like grasshoppers and we say, they must have seen us like that. Well, it is true in our day too, friends, that if we see ourselves as grasshoppers, that is how the world will see us. The world has demonstrated for 619 days since October 7th that they are willing to reimagine and to corrupt Jewish identity into villain, into small, or into oppressor, and into world controller. Anti-Semitism has absolutely, friends, been part and parcel of a reimagining and a dehumanization of our family. And it is crucial for us to say we refuse to be defined by you. Yachol nuchala. We have to determine from within ourselves, as we have since our birth as a people and our rebirth as a nation in 1948. Yachol nuchal la. We can do this. For the sake of generations to come, we must do this. But it is so important for us to see not only the pain of these last 4 days, but the resurgent strength of our people. October 7th knocked us down, but we got back up. Alo na'aleh. We stand up. What is it to be a Jew, friends? We stand up in this world. We stand up. And for those who say, no, you can't, we will respond with Yachol nuchala. We shall overcome. Who would have thought in ancient Rome that the Jews would be the ones who lasted? We lasted. Who would have thought, time and time again in history, after the Crusades, after the pogroms, after the Shoah, and who would have thought after October 7th we would rise again? We did. We know. Back in the day, we had a slingshot. We were one little boy against a giant. Well, we're not quite giants, but we don't have to only hold slingshots. I am a person who has labored to end casual killing, the American gun violence epidemic, as an ongoing blasphemy against human life itself. But that does not mean that all weapons are inherently evil. The use of weapons, the intention behind their use, sometimes is morally necessary. As Rabbi Yitz Greenberg, a giant of our generation, has said, post-Shoah, the abdication of force is immoral for a Jew. It is important for us to remember also what not a Jewish voice said, but what Mark Twain said about patriotism. He said, patriotism is love of country always, love of government when it deserves it. There is a difference between the political fighting that we as a people have not emerged from, maybe never will emerge from, It's part of the vibrancy of a multivocal tradition. Judaism has never been dogmatic. We don't have one answer to the big questions. That is true in Jewish law. It is true in our national politics. It is true in countless ways. But it is important to know that that is a different conversation than do we defend ourselves against existential threats. We defend ourselves against existential threats, just as Kalev reminded us in our Parsha. Yachol nuchal la. We can. Alo na'aleh. We must. And so, friends, I invite you to remind yourself, to reestablish in your own soul what it is to stand up in the world. These are hard days, but we are standing up in the world. And we learned that from our ancestors. The fear, well-founded. But to discourage our people or allow ourselves to be discouraged, no way. In the midst of all this, a necessary fight that began again, we will fight ourselves and we will bring our family home. Alo na'aleh, stand up. Yes, I need the reminder as much as you. And yes, I look to the skies. I look beyond the mountains. I do call out to God for help. I call out to our people to fly, to save us. And we fly. Alo na'aleh. If you are seeing in this moment only a reason for dissent in the Israeli political scene, you are missing the point. There will be time for that. This is not what this is about. We fight for our lives. And in so many ways, that is beautiful. The only thing more beautiful than that will be when we don't have to fight for our lives. May that day come soon. May we not be distracted from the plight of our 53 beloveds. May we bring them home now. May the brave women and men fighting in Tzahal, the Israeli Defense Forces, be safe. May they return home. May this war end. May the threat end first. Daven with me, friends. We're going to say a tefillah, a prayer for the state of Israel first, and then we're going to sing Hatikva. This is a prayer for the state of Israel. I'll say it in Hebrew. Avinu Shabashamayim, Sur Yisrael v'goalo, Barech et Medinat Yisrael, Reshit Tzmichat Geulatenu. Hagen aleh be'evrat chastecha, Ufros aleh sukat shlomecha, Ushlach orcha v'mitcha l'rashea, Sarea ve'oatzea, V'taknem be'etzah tova milfanecha, Chazek edidei miginer eretz kodshenu, V'anchilem Eloheinu Yeshua, V'ateret nitzachon ta'atrem, V'natata shalom ba'aretz, V'simchat olam le'yoshvea, V'nomar Amen. God bless the state of Israel. Friends, send your hearts to the east. Send it to those fighting for our lives. Send it to those still waiting freedom. Send it everywhere. That's how strong we are. That's how much love we have. On this day 619, bring them home now. And Yisrael Chai. And I will say that after Hatikva, but I have been saying that, screaming it in my soul every second of the last 4 days, and I know you have been too. Ayala, you are in Tel Aviv. Look up to the sky and bless it for us. Be our anchor in this holy space we call home. Kol hod baleva penima nefesh Yehudi homia ulefatei mizrach kadima ayin letzion Sophia Olo avda tikvateinu Hatikva bat shnot alpayim Liot am chofshi בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים, להיות עם חופשי בארצנו, ארץ ציון וירושלים. Bring them home now. Am Yisrael Chai. See you tomorrow, my friends. Bye, everyone.